Hello, everybody. We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's having a good time. Let me unplug a thing here on my phone, which is going to screw everything up. There we go. My bad. I forgot to unplug my power cord. Hope everybody's having a good evening. Hope everybody can hear me okay. Let me know about that. I see my finger on my screen there, so at least I know that's working. Trying different headphone setup, which I think I'm already going to ditch because I want to make sure this is going to work with Andrew. So I'm going to go old school and use the wired cord instead of the. We'll stick with the Bluetooth for a minute. But again, thank you guys so much for coming to a special episode of Brews and Blades. This is going to be a fairly regular thing. I'm going to try and do at least one of these a month. Brews and Blades and guest. And this week is Andrew Demko. Any of you guys would want to talk to him. We're going to talk about the new Demko 80 20.5, which I don't have. I was supposed to have it. I think it's stuck in the mail somewhere. So I was hoping to have one here to show you guys. I don't, but obviously Andrew will. And we have his lovely 80 20 here. So we'll have a lot to talk about anyway. I have some questions prepared for him. And then you guys are going to be able to ask him whatever you want. I messaged him today, texted him, and said, "Hey, is there anything off limits?" And he said, "Nope, I'll answer to the best of my ability." Obviously, there's some things that he can't talk about, but he said he answered to the best of ability. Now, I will be acting as a bit of a gatekeeper. He's only going to answer the questions that I put on screen, such as this. Let's put it on Monster Racing's one. So he's just going to answer those ones. He's just going to be looking at that screen, so he'll answer those. So I'm going to be a bit of a gatekeeper there. If I know it's one that he just can't answer, I'm probably not going to put it up. Or if it's rude or whatever, I'm basically screening calls like I'm back on the radio in the late 90s. So I'll be doing that. Hopefully it all works. It's the first time we've tried it like this. We've had guests on before. I wanted to do some test runs. We had, Puppy Haskins on last week, which was great. And we've had, just some of you guys just popping on randomly, the members and patrons. So first of all, I do want to thank Indiana Knives before I forget, our sponsor as always for Brews and Blades. I always appreciate everything that they do for us. Great company. So yeah, spoiler, I'll spoil that one. Michael Morgan, how fast could you knock out Brian? Extremely fast. I don't know if you've ever seen Andrew Demko in person, but he is a house of a man. Uh, Not in an insulting way. He's a large gentleman. So yeah, pretty sure he could destroy me in many ways. Uh, but yeah, I think Indiana Knives are sponsor all the time. Click the link down below. They go there, get 10% discount at checkout. Remember, it doesn't show up till checkout. What else do we want to talk about tonight before we get going? Andrew's going to be on about 8:30, by the way. I told him to pop on about 8:15, so I sent him a text, and he hasn't looked at it yet, but I'm sure he will very shortly. But on Instagram, if you don't follow my Instagram, please do. It's Slicey Dicey 75 on the Instagrams. We do have a giveaway, giving away these two items: a bottle of EDCI and a Sencut Actium. I think I remembered it right. Yeah, EDCI reached out to me, the new owners, and they said, "Hey, you've been saying great stuff about our product. We're the new owners. We have it out, and I know that some people haven't been able to find it, and so we're going to send you some." And I was like, "Cool." And then they sent me all of the EDCI. So I have between all the bottles they sent me, I have like 10 or 12 of these little ones and four of the big ones. I'm going to keep one of the big ones. I think I have about a gallon of EDCI. So uh, any giveaway you see for the next while is going to include a little bottle of EDCI. So yeah, but don't ask your questions yet. Wait until Andrew's actually on because I'm just going to pick. I the way that the comments roll, I have to do it sort of kind of live-ish. And yeah, if you guys could just keep once he's on, keep the chat just to the questions so that it's not completely buried and I can actually catch everybody's questions. So yeah, go check out the Instagram for that giveaway. I'm gonna open my beer now. My Weehaw. bottle opener. I was supposed to name this after somebody a while ago. Thanks for the link, Slicey. Or I'm Slicey, talking to myself. Thank you for the link, Keith. I was supposed to name this after somebody a long time ago, and I forgot who it was, and I didn't write it on there. Somebody kicked in $50 on the super chat one night, and I said I'd name this after him, and then I didn't do it. But tonight I am drinking. Probably should have showed it before I opened it because that would have been easier. I think I've never done this before. I'm going simple tonight, just a Bass Ale. I love Bass Ale. The comedy club's open again, and they have it on tap, and it's what I always drink there. So I'm just kind of in a Bass mood. Indiana Knives is on here. I didn't see them. Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And Stas is here. Monster Racing, Mike Person, Michael Morgan. Thank you very much for the super chat, Zach. Yep, that is open. And by the way, if you want to click the join button down below, or if you're on the Patreon, you get access to our Discord site. It's a lot of fun. We talk mostly about knives. We also talk about silly stuff, a lot of F1 talk, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of sports stuff, a lot of TV show stuff. And we're doing something very silly on Tuesday, May the 4th. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. You couldn't tell when I do face reveal style and you see all the Star Wars figures behind me. My big Star Wars fake painting. So May the 4th is Star Wars Day. You know, May the 4th be with you. And we're going to live chat at 9 p.m. Eastern time on the Discord. And we're going to watch Caravan of Courage, an Ewok story, which is a horrible made-for-TV Ewok movie from the 1980s. We're just going to watch it together and make fun of it. And I'm really looking forward to it. I know at least like 8 or 10 people said they were coming. My son's going to be on there, which he's 22 and he is he's way worse than me as far as making fun of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be an hour and a half of us making fun of terrible 80s Ewok movies, which will be cool. Cole Owens, you excited for Bad Batch? Oh yeah, Bad Batch looks amazing. Can't wait for that. I'll be watching that on Tuesday. So what else did I want to talk about? I think that was it. I wanted to pimp that thing on the giveaway, how to join the Discord. Yeah. I've got a few questions prepared for Andrew, and we're going to start out with those, and then we'll get to yours. But like I said, I'm going to be gatekeeper, so he should be on momentarily, and then I'll bring him on live at like 8:30. This is the first time I'm doing this, so please be patient. And also, once this is over with, I'm going to download the audio and cut out just the section with Andrew, and we'll put that up as a podcast. So. What's the purple one on the left? This is a Senka Actium that is part of my Instagram giveaway for 15,000 followers. So go to my Instagram account. Second or third post down is the instructions on how to join it. Please tag Advanced Knife Bro as one of your friends because it's fun to annoy Advanced Knife Bro and make him have 1,000 notifications. So it's a lot of fun. And thanks for linking Sas's channel, Keith. He's one of the best channels on the internet. He knows way more than I do about knives. And thank you very much, HT. I appreciate it. You guys watching on the big screen or whatever size screen you have? I always think it's kind of cool to see people watching YouTube on TV. I never do that. I'm always just watching it on my phone or one of my computers, but I'm going to put up that link yeah, there is Stas's channel. So make sure to go check that out. 80/20 got to have it. I know that's going to be one of your questions about when these are available. So I kind of already know his production policies, but I will let him answer that. And no, Keith, he did not. Mark has not said anything yet about that. He was camping all weekend with his family, and I didn't know that when I did it. So I'm hoping he like logs on his phone like when he gets back. Oh, how's the website going? That is another thing I did want to talk about. I hear my notes. So it's pretty much done. I went to do like the last thing. So I registered my URL with my soon-to-be former service provider. I'm just going to name them because I'm really mad at them right now. Ionos, don't ever use them, at least not to register a domain. I registered the domain through them. I went to go transfer it to WordPress, where the new place is going to be hosted. 10 days it's going to take. That started Thursday. 10 days to transfer ownership of a URL. I've never heard of such a thing in my life. I called them to complain, and they just tried to sell me a hosting plan. So that's why they do it. They just want you to give up and host it through them. But I'm not. I'm not hosting anything through them anymore. I can't stand them. I'm so mad. But it would probably be up like tomorrow if it wasn't for freaking Ionos. Feel free to email them and say, hashtag free slicey daily. I wouldn't complain about that at all. Hey, Freedom Van, how's it going? Yeah, it is some BS, Knife Collector. They just want me to keep it through them and buy a hosting plan. I know that's what it is, but I'm not going to. Their hosts are very unsupportive. Like, yeah, they host it, but you have to do like every single little thing. So, no, not Cyber Squatters. I own the URL. I'm just wanting to allow them for me to transfer my registrar to be WordPress instead of through them, and they don't. They take 10 days to do that. And I don't know why that is. Uh, Tom, Tom says maybe if they bought you a sword, you'd forgive them. It would have to be like like an amazing sword for me to forgive them. I'm so mad about that because I worked my tiny little patootie off all week, and it was my birthday and everything to get it looking okay. I'm still not happy with the way it looks. It will evolve over time, but good enough to launch it. I wrote a bunch of stuff to put on it, so there's gonna be some great content on there. I wrote a couple reviews I'm really proud of, some little news items and stuff. And then last thing was on Thursday. Well, let me transfer the domain in 10 days. Lovely. But that's enough about that. So somebody said Shibuti. I don't have it anymore. If you're asking to see the Shibuti, I don't own it anymore. But still loving this thing. I actually carried it yesterday. The CRKT Pilar 3. I'm still loving this a lot. I still think it's the best thing CRKT ever made by a long distance. Really, really like that. And of course, we have 80/20 out because Andrew's going to be on here. Todd Carr, I'll put that one up. He says, did you get any practice in yet for the fight with MC? We're not sword fighting. It's going to be dual challenges from across the country or halfway across the country. But no, I mean a little bit. I've been out swinging around a little bit, but I don't need that much. I do kind of know how to use a sword, so I think I'll be mostly okay. Oh, there's one. Somebody just said I do want to up on here. Sorry if the thing's shaking around. So I just got an 8010 and 8015 on Amazon for super cheap, and they are authentic. Okay, yeah, but that's not going to keep happening. I can tell you that. I don't know who the seller is, how they got them, all that stuff, but I know that uh, lots of dealers are uber mad about it, especially since the 8015 Lite that I just put up the review of yesterday came out, and now the 8015 Lite, which is supposed to be cheaper than the 8015, costs more than it costs on Amazon, or at least about the same. The prices fluctuate all the time on those. It's really weird. And they may be real, but it feels very scammy. And if Cold Steel is the one selling them, which I don't think it is, if it's actually Cold Steel selling them, color me thoroughly unimpressed. But I don't think that's who it is. I think it's just somebody who got a whole ton of them, and and that's just kind of how it is. But I know enough dealers that are very, very mad that I don't think it's going to continue. Michael Morgan says, "Smash that like button if you love Andrew Demko, and if you've ever met the man, how could you not like him? He's a great guy. And I really like him because I totally didn't realize who he was when he came up and said hi to me at Blade Show in 2019, and I kind of big timed him because I was talking to somebody else. I did not realize who he was, and then I realized, and then I apologized. And he goes, "Oh no, it's okay. Nobody knows what I look like. It's all right." And it was very nice of him. Somebody says, "Any chance you're getting a DBK knife?" I don't know what that is by that acronym, so I don't know. Justin EC, gray market, cold steel selling out the back door like Rolex 80s. If that's the case, again, I will be thoroughly unimpressed. And if I ever find out for sure that is the case, you will see a video of me saying that I'm thoroughly unimpressed with that. And no, Travis, I didn't pass by him. He actually kept standing there. Yeah, it was very nice. He came up and said, "Oh, hey, man," and I was like, "Oh, hey, oh, nice to meet you," and like shook his hand. And I was talking to somebody from Best Tech, and then he kept standing there. And then I glanced at his name tag and saw who it was. I was like, "Oh my god!" And totally then blew off the Best Tech guy to talk to Andrew. So, um, uh, is it just me or is the feed a bit fuzzy? I don't know. It looks good on both my Discord thing and on my. I'm doing it over the air because it's more reliable, so it might not be as high definition right now as it usually is. But I prefer more reliable than anything else. So, that I would say this is a bit extreme. I just didn't know who he was, and I just kind of continued my conversation with someone else. I would say I big timed him more than dissed him, which was still just as bad. But Travis Lewis, so like when is CRT going to do a run of PLR3 and S35 in? I would be shocked if Blade HQ didn't have one of those by like August because they always do the S35 PLR stuff. I'm sure they'll have one. Let me just check something here, or you have to see my mouse for a moment while I click on. Just checking to see Andrew's status. Let me text him again really quickly here. I can text from my computer because I'm an Apple person. Oh, can you do that on PC? So, Connor Ryan, do you know when the 8020.5 will be available? That is one of the questions I am going to ask him. Oh, I just texted him after he's all good. Now I see him in the thing. So, Andrew is patiently waiting. So I will be bringing him on here in about 12 minutes. He's in the waiting room, so he can hear what I'm saying, but he can't respond to it yet. So, man, a PLR and S35 VM would be awesome. They did a run of those. Pretty sure they did a run of those. I know iMessage is Apple only, but does PC have an equivalent thing that you can text from your computer? I don't know. I'm gonna have to, right? Oh, Travis, don't bring up the ranch on pizza thing. You know, I'm gonna add that to the questions to ask Andrew since it's such a hot topic here. But and we are live on Facebook as well, by the way. I saw a couple comments from people on the Facebook. So if you are a member of our Facebook, I don't usually do much on that Facebook group. I started it like when I started the channel, but I don't do much on it. I'm going to try to do more. And yeah, now I can broadcast live to Facebook simultaneously. So there'll be questions from YouTube and Facebook. So, oh, you can connect Android to Windows. So it's kind of, yeah, we didn't do pocket checks. So I'd like to do pocket checks really quick before we bring some people on, or want some people, Andrew on. So, what is everybody carrying today? I was carrying the TRM Atom with the Techwood scales because it matched my watch, which is a Seiko 62 Moss reissue thing. Daleka, you weren't carrying a Daleka. You post pictures. I don't believe you actually carry it and actually use it. because it's not a knife. Para 3 S45 VN. I guess that's just what they are now, right? I've heard a whole bunch of people just ordered Para 3s and PM2s and they just showed up in their S35 VN and they weren't expecting it. Demko MG8015 in my Carta. Very nice, Quack fam. Ender half-track Bowie. CGRB Crag. I just like to say Crag like that. Spyderco Stage 5 Lightweight. QSP Penguin. Gene Micarta. Those are really nice. I just sold one of those. Revo Ness and Grom Featherweight Lockback. Spyderco Drunken. Cool. That's a kind of a rare one. Maximet Sage 1. I love the Sage 1. Maximet. Mine is sitting right here next to me, actually. Ferrum Forge Stinger. Stanley Classic 99. Protect Malibu. S45 VN Spanto. Large and Kosi Tanto. Very nice. That's one of my favorite knives that I own. Pena Zulu Frog. American Lawman. You just wanted me to sing the song, didn't you, Red? I'm sure you did. I wonder if Andrew knows about this song. Cold Spartan. 8015. Hinder Fire Attack just got in. I love my Battle Black Fire Attack. So yeah, it's a good one. And man, the Battle Black's holding up pretty well. I've been using the heck out of it. I showed in my most carried video for the month, a couple little scratches on it, but it's holding up pretty good. Chester, you guys make me want to quiet carry. Yeah, my waypoint's been carried a lot. I don't know. I didn't carry it I think most of the winter, and then it's just lately the last couple months it's been back in my pocket all the time now. Svivi Riffle, very cool. Henkel's chef knife. You just carry it or you use it? I was using a Victorinox chef's knife today. I made butter chicken, which is an Indian thing that doesn't have much butter in it, but it is very tasty. I never made it before. Saw a recipe, thought it sounded interesting, and it is interesting. It tastes interesting. I really like it. Keith doesn't have any cold steel knives. Shocking. Well, you just need to skip the cold steels and just get some Demkos. Medford Praetorian Slim, Blue Titanium. Those are very nice. Jason Bergeson, which knife should be the most worried about? The 20.5. That's a question I think more for me than Andrew, because I know Andrew is a nice guy and he would just demur, but I would say a lot of cold steels. Grumpy Grunt butter chicken is wonderful when done right. I think I did it right. It was very, very good. It was very tasty. I think I did it right. It didn't taste like hardly anything until I realized I hadn't put enough tomato paste in, and I added another tablespoon of tomato paste, and that was really, really good. But the whole family liked it, so I'm just going to assume I did it right. It may taste nothing like it's supposed to, but I don't care. Whatever I made, I followed recipe for butter chicken, and it was good. So you're stuttering, HTEDC. You're asking the same thing over again. Max 18 came with lockstick cam. Nice things. Apparently, Jexter says, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that." But can't believe I missed out on the giveaway. Oh, last week. We're gonna have another one coming up. I'm not gonna have a guest next week, I don't think, but probably the week after, and there will be a giveaway associated with that guest. So, oops, this isn't Metal Complex. Oh. Are you trolling me, or did you really think you were coming on for Metal Complex's giveaway? I'm gonna move my mouse off to the side because it's not aesthetically pleasing to me. Everyone should at least have a tough light. I do agree. Kaiser Sheepdog Carbon Fiber S35 VN. Awesome. Yeah. We're all aware that he at 50,000. We're all aware. The monster of my own creating, which has destroyed me in subscriber count. I think when I gave him a shout out the first time, I had 15,000 and he had 800 or something like that. Metal Complex do make me want an Open L13. I do want an Open L13, Cole. This is a very, very cool one. That is just completely stupid. Why don't I just cancel a comment that's on there? I have to go back and find it to cancel it. But until then, we're just going to have, whoops, this isn't Metal Complex up there. Oh, that's a good one. Will you do something 25K? Yes, I have already begun acquiring things. One of which we'll be talking about very shortly. And then, yeah, I've started acquiring stuff for it. Yes, I have a lot of EDCI, and I have like 3 knives coming that will be for that. So, um, Zach G, that is a question more for Andrew, and he will be on in a little bit. So, it is a hilarious knife, that big giant thing. Managed to pick up a Sharp by Design Evo Typhoon at retail. Very good. Very, very good. When this is over, once we're done, I didn't want to dominate anything, but and I thought about making this a Patreon exclusive video, but once Andrew's done, I'm gonna try and keep him about half an hour. After that, so he can go to bed or whatever. We're gonna talk about the slish buoy, the buoy-ocalypse, the buoy-geddon that happened this week on the World Wide Web internet knife community, and about how truly silly I think it all was. So uh, remove that one. Got one still in transit. Yeah, I never was even tempted to get it, because the new Slish buoy, because I have the old one. So, well, Sean, apparently hundreds of people got them, but because they sold out, so people obviously got them. Oh, the Pena Mula was that one. And can't wait for upgraded versions 80.20.5 in the future. We will see. We'll talk about that. Or if there's just going to be different knives, maybe it'll just be more Demko knives made overseas. We'll talk to him about that. I'm not even talking about the process of getting them. I'm talking about all the furor and anger before they were even put up for sale, because they dared to charge more money than they used to cost. It's called inflation. It's been out of production for 4 years. Carried a QB KU233 in natural jade scales and black blade today. Richard C says, I can't keep track of Kubi model numbers, so. Yes, I just got back from Joshua Tree. There's Puppy still living a better life at 13 than all the rest of us are. All right, according to my clock, it is 8:30 here, so let's see if Andrew's on here. I'm gonna go over to this and see if he's on and his camera's up and I can see his face, so I assume he's ready to go. So, without further ado, again, I'm going to be filtering your questions. So for the next, while Andrew's on, please try and keep comments related to that, so I'm just not buried in comments on here. But without further ado, please welcome Andrew Demko.
How are you?
Hey man, how's it going?
Oh, very good. Very good. Good to be on with you tonight. Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on. You're the first live guest we've done.
Oh, really?
So,
good.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we did some with viewers. It's my first scheduled live guest, but yeah, I just started doing this live stream thing, and you're on YouTube and the Facebooks. So, but we're gonna properly arrange here and just have the 80/20 out in proper respect. I should have done this beforehand instead of making you look at other people's stuff. Although I know you're a fan of everybody's knife, so
I am.
But still, and of course, I chose the gray background tonight, so with my gray 80/20, so it disappears. But I assure you, there's an 80/20 sitting here. You can see it in my hand now. It's camouflage. But yeah, I was telling the guys I was supposed to have an 8025, but I think USPS is just taking their sweet time with it, so I didn't get it in time. So I was gonna have them both out here. But I know the first question everybody's gonna ask, so I'm gonna be putting some questions up for you to ask, but I have a few before we get to those.
Okay.
What's up with the 20.5? What's your what's your what do they call it? Elevator pitch for the 20.5?
Well, I wanted to branch out, with Demko knives since I left Cold Steel. Well, I didn't really leave Cold Steel. It just came to an end, and I wanted to, build my brand. And I really think a good way to do that is with the Taiwan production. For the last 16 years or so, I've been working with a lot of different manufacturers in Taiwan, and I have a pretty good relationship with many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the success and the overwhelming demand for the 80/20 and the Shark Lock, I thought it was time to bring in a production or a mass production version, imported version, basically, because I always want to get the price down. I really had to work hard to make the 80/20 at the price point of $425, believe it or not. And maybe somebody could make that easily for that price. Benjamin could, but for me and my shop, it's a tight knife there to make for that price. And I wanted to get the price down even lower, and that's when I got the Grivery handles made that go onto your exact same knife, and the G10 is expensive, and the machining of the G10 it's time consuming, so it's costly.
And it's messy.
So you can, it is, and there's a lot of waste. It kills carbide mills very fast, and you know what? The Grivery is probably 99, maybe not, I don't know about 99, but it's 90% as strong in destruction tests as the G10 in this particular build because of the way the tab liners are and stuff. So
now,
go ahead.
This may be something you can't answer, but it is related, and I know it's a question a lot of people have. It's related to the Grivery thing. Are the 20.5s made the same place that the Cold Steels are?
Well, yes. However, Cold Steel uses many factories in Taiwan.
Yeah. I just got the 8015 Light, and the Grivex on that is outstanding. I can't hardly tell the difference.
AD15 Light, yeah.
So that's why I was asking.
I haven't seen one. I don't know.
But just to reinforce what you said, the Grivex that is coming out of Taiwan in the Grivery, whatever you choose to call it, is very good quality. It's really nice stuff.
It is very, very good. Grivery is I don't really bother understanding exactly what, to explain what Grivery is. I probably should. It's not quite.
I just say
FRN.
Fancy plastic. I just say
it's
plastic.
it's whatever. I just say Grivery, and if I'm not mistaken, the material is actually from, I think, Sweden. I'm not positive on that, but
I know it's Europe somewhere.
It's really, really, as far as injection molding, it's really awesome material.
And another thing I wanted to talk about oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say that brought, I was able to bring the price down. I think we were $425 for the G10, and then down to $375 for the Grivery. And I actually carry a Grivery knife every single day. Hey, the G10's cooler though. If you're into G10, but to me, pretty cool is, almost $100 cheaper, however cheaper, to $75 cheaper, with the same performance. That's pretty cool also.
I think the thing is that there are, as with most materials, but maybe more so with any sort of FRN, Grivery, whatever, there are such varying degrees of quality that people got to experience one that felt kind of cheap. I won't name names, but it rhymes with French made, or and then they go to they just equate everything with that, and they just think, oh, they're all going to feel like a Griptilian, which they don't. There's such varying degrees of it, that you
Yes.
can get infinitely better quality of it, but it's all technically the same stuff, but it isn't. And people just get in their head, that, oh, it's all going to be like that. Much like the steel you chose for the 20.5, which I'm a big fan of, the OS 10A. I've had it on a bunch of cold steels. I think it's great stuff. I know you're a big fan,
Yes.
but people hear the word OS and think like OS 8 and stuff like that. But explain why you went with that steel.
That is it's a still that can be fine blanked for one thing, but it's about the top end of being able to be blanked. And if you go from blanking to laser cutting or whatever other kind of cutting, water jet or whatever, your cost is going to go quite a bit up because you need, after it's cut, you need, second and third ops of machining to go around the perimeters
Yeah.
and stuff. But you can still find blank 10A, but it's at the top of the probably the allowance to, because of the carbon content to do that. But you know what? It's decent edge holding, it's decent rust resistance, and it's pretty tough. So
It's
and it's easy to
very tough.
sharpen. It
That's
sharpens very easily.
yeah, that too. But I know it's how tough it is because I have the Formax Scout, and I do stupid things with it. That's the only thing I do with that knife is stupid things, and it never chips. It's always
Hmm.
fine. So I was actually happy to see you chose that steel. I thought it was perfect for that. At least it wasn't, another addition to the sea of D2. It
Well,
was
D2 is awesome. I mean, well, let me just say, American made D2, or maybe the German D2, or whoever, like the Buller D2. I think that's, what is that?
yeah,
K75 or something.
K110. Yeah,
K110. Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty darn
It's
good too.
great.
Yeah,
There's
there's a
nothing
lot
wrong
of,
with it. I'm just
yeah,
so
but
sick of seeing it. It's
well,
just
there's a
like,
lot of
oh,
D2 coming out of China too that is probably not even. I doubt it's D2.
no,
So,
I've heard that to them D2 just means tool steel, and it's whatever the heck
yeah,
they decide to put on there that day. But I was happy to see you chose the OS 10A. I really like that steel a lot. I just know every time I post a review of a knife with OS 10A, I get comments about thinking it's like just upgraded OS 8, and it's like not even hardly related to it.
well, in
But
fact, it is upgraded 8A.
it's extremely upgraded though, right?
Well, here's what's interesting. 8A would be equivalent to maybe 440B, and
Yeah.
10A would be like 440C. So 8A and
No.
10A would be 440A and 440B. It
Well,
should just be more
I
carbon.
stand with a correction. I always thought it was not that closely related because
No,
it doesn't perform anything like OS 8 to me.
well, when you get that little bit more carbon in it, it puts it right up to uh, you know a high carbon still is. I think 8A is a little bit, maybe, point and a half or 2 points lower on the carbon, and that makes a big difference. But 8A is tougher, obviously, because of the
Yeah.
less carbon.
Yeah.
But maybe you could say on 88A, it's maybe more toughness that you need on that little knife, and you'd rather have some more carbon and get some better edge holding. So
And
that's why I
also
went with that.
the factory that you're using has a long reputation of being awesome with the heat treats.
Very
So
good at those Japanese stills. Yes.
yeah, because any of like anything, not to keep mentioning cold steel, but anything cold steel is like even their HCR is not that bad, because it's coming out of there, and
Yeah.
that always I always notice that with their stuff. So I have a couple more questions I want to ask you. Oh, the number one question I was going to ask you is when can people buy these 20.5s?
I am hoping to have a partial delivery of the 20.5s 4-blade show.
Mhm.
So that's probably when I will be debuting the first batch right at Blade Show. Available at Blade, so see me at my booth.
And then dealers shortly after that.
Yep. And then right at that same time, we'll be supplying our dealers.
Great. So not that long a wait, guys. and what is the
No.
general price range on that?
We're still trying to be around that 130 to 150 mark. I hope. The unknown to me is how much it actually costs once it gets here, because of shipping and
Yeah,
tariffs
duty and all that
and
stuff. Yeah,
all duty and all. Yeah, it's so.
yeah,
I just have to have that figured out, and then I will. The
great.
one thing that I learned from Cold Steel, and I assume it's very similar to the in all the knife industries, all the knife companies, is people would complain about the price of some knife, whatever it is, from Cold Steel or whatever, but
Yeah,
I've never seen a knife that wasn't priced directly proportional to the cost. So whatever
yeah,
that knife costs you, there's the formula you add to that or apply to that, and you get your retail price, and then maybe you'll put it up or down just a little bit to maybe make it sound more appealing. Um,
yeah.
but it's absolutely completely in relation to the price, the landed cost, basically the
I
cost it
I
takes to get
agree.
it in your shop.
I'm always arguing about it because people get upset about, well, why is so and so charge whatever for whatever, and I always say, you don't see any Bentleys in the exhibitor parking at Blade Show. It's it's not like people are just doing it to do it. You know,
Right.
um, it's I don't know anybody in the knife industry that is intentionally just gouging people on how much they cost, because overall, they're pretty good people. And then last question related, actual 80/20 production guesstimates. What's the progress with these? Because this every time I show this thing, 6 people ask where they can get one, who has one in stock.
For the AD20, we have been ramping up, and we do almost a weekly delivery to our various dealers. Honestly, we get new dealers almost every few days as well. So we're trying
Hmm.
to really, really, really get production up, but we weren't really prepared for this huge demand. So
Well, you
a good
well you
problem to
designed
have.
some you designed something awesome. People want to buy it. I don't know if you know how economy works, but that's kind of
I'm
what
learning.
happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you had a couple of stupid YouTubers that freaked out about it, and that probably didn't help you too much. But yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I do I love this knife so much. It was and um I joke around. I didn't get the titanium one because actually I think it was you or your brother told me not to get the titanium one because I said I wanted to actually use it and carry it, and it was you or your brother said don't get the tie, just get the regular one.
Well, I
So
don't know.
I got
We both carry Griffith, but
yeah
we're not mesmerized by the coolness um,
yeah.
of the materials. We just like the function. And again, well, the titanium is the strongest, yes, but
I got the grade G10 though, so that from a distance I can pretend it's tie.
it does look like tie. I
From
can't
like
say that the
across the
tie
room, I'll
probably
just pretend it's tie.
it looks tie from here.
Yeah, it's tie, sure. But yeah. And then final question before we bring people on. This is just a non sequitur stupid thing. We've had a huge debate the last couple episodes. I don't know if you were watching in the day before you came on. Um, is ranch on pizza acceptable?
Well, here you can get ranch on pizza if it's veggie pizza, but I mean, I've never seen such a thing on regular pizza.
Yeah. So it's like as it's a topping that's like on the pizza. You don't like dip it in. It's not a thing in Pennsylvania.
No, no, not that
Yeah,
I'm
good.
aware
So
of.
see, upstate New York, we're blue cheese, but there's a ranch thing. We're done now. There, are you happy? The guy brought it up, Travis. I asked Andrew Demko what he thought about ranch on pizza. So let's get to some questions here from some viewers. Um, I'm going to be kind of throwing these in reverse order, so if I miss any of you, I do apologize. So here's a good one. Todd Carr asks, will you be shipping any to Canadian retailers?
I don't think we have a Canadian dealer at this time. I think if someone reached out to us, they would be our Canadian dealer, but we don't have any.
Okay. And Quack Fam says, as your brand grows, do you foresee hiring employees, or do you just want to keep it a small family-run business?
Yeah, actually, I have my first. Well, he will be my. I actually have two employees. Demko Knives employs two persons right now, myself and my brother John, and I have a new employee starting tomorrow,
Hmm.
who will be my first official kind of employee, who is my cousin. I think very highly of, and he's such a good guy and a good worker that I always thought, man, if I was ever going to hire anybody in the world to do anything, it would be this guy.
Oh,
So
that
kind of
explains
cool.
why you didn't answer when I sent my resume. It's like that explains that. So.
Well, also he lives across the street. He can
Oh
ride
yeah,
his
I'm
four-wheeler
four
to
hours
work.
away.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I am going to come down there this summer though and hang out. So
Well, you are always welcome.
I'm fully vaccinated and all that stuff now, so I'm allowed to travel. Here's
Oh,
a very specific
okay.
question, but I know one that people will ask. Ryan Giller says, curious as to what the HRC is going to be on the 20.5.
Should be 5960 RC.
Cool. I don't pay as much attention to that as I probably should as a knife reviewer, but Michael Morgan, I want to ask for this because it says Mr. Demko, do you still train? I wanted to ask because I was going to warn people beforehand if they wanted to get snarky in the questions to remember that Andrew Demko is the size of a house, so don't mess with him. Do you still work
Training?
out stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah, like what kind of training? I do all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, I assume he means the stuff that keeps you looking all jacked.
But you know what? Here's a real quick funny story. I learned this from Lynn Thompson, and it pisses my brother off a lot. Lynn lived the warrior lifestyle, he called it, and
Uh-huh.
he's training a lot. He had a Japanese, like a Japanese fencing, kinjutsu teacher. He had a European fencing instructor. He had a mixed martial art instructor. He had a kettlebell instructor. He had all these instructors. He even had people come in like for weeks just to train him. He had a Sikh come in, and he did like I think 1 or 2 weeks in whatever fighting style the Sikhs do, with a tail war sword and stuff. He was really
Hmm.
into. And Lynn's like, yeah, I live the warrior lifestyle. So, and that also included his weight training and resistance training. So, I've
Yeah.
been working out more as far as uh, that type of thing since I've been fully my own boss. So yeah, I leave the shop at about 11:30 every day and say, "Yep, sorry, warrior lifestyle training," and I
So you
go
do all
hit the
kinds of
weights
stuff.
and the
Yeah,
kettlebells, yeah,
before
and then I
someone
still do Aikido.
before you came out, somebody asked how quickly you could knock me out, and I said very, very quickly.
No, not at all. No, I'm just
I'm sure you
hot.
wouldn't because you're a very nice man, but if push came to shove, I don't think I'd last
I'm
more than
just,
a second.
yeah, you never know.
I know my place. So this is I think he's meaning in a more deep meaning, but what is the best value knife you make? Because sometimes an expensive knife can still be a great value.
Well, I think that yeah, value to me means you. I mean, when I hear value, I think of all the performance for the least amount of cost, and
Hmm.
so that would be the Griffey AD20 probably because that's the lowest retail value, but it performs the exact same as whether you get titanium or G10 on it.
Yeah.
So, but the 20.5 out of Taiwan will be the best value knife because it's a pretty darn good knife, and it's going to be at a you know a standard price point for a production knife. I'm
Here's
very happy to
a slight.
offer a knife, for that.
Yeah, it's great. I never thought I'd see the day when it said Demko on it for that price. That's amazing. But Jace Jace McKinstry says, depending on how sales go, do you think you might make a slightly more premium production 20.5 similar to the Formax versus the Formax Scout?
Well, we do intend to have various models pending its success on the 20.5, both upgrades in handle material or blade material or both. And we fully intend to make an MG run of 20.5s. In fact, we're going to start that.
Oh, nice.
But we got so many orders for the 20 that we couldn't even stop and retool for anything else. We had intended on doing a run of 8015s also, but you can't, when you have orders, you just can't stop all that and say, that's all, we're going to make 20s or 20 or 15s or 20.5s or whatever. So we do intend to both in our MG, USA made line and our Taiwan line, expand the AD 20.5 model. Yes.
And we never talked about the dimensions either. The 20.5 is smaller. We breezed right over that.
It is. The 20.5 has a 3-inch blade, and it's about, I have it here. I have the only thing I have left, and I've been EDCing this thing. I don't know how to use
Whip it out.
this.
Yeah.
So here we go on a 20.5, and I have the original blade I showed was my what do we call it, whatever, the crew clad 90V 154 cm outside. So you can see that the regular one is 3.5 inches. Well, these are splits a little shorter, and then the 20.5 is a 3-inch blade, substantially thinner too.
Yeah.
So I can tell you some dimensions. So the blade thickness should be coming in at 1/8 of an inch, 3.1 millimeters, and the handle thickness about 390.
Oh wow!
And you know what? Yes, it's very, very thin. It's meant for to be an awesome EDC, and it's about 7.5 overall length, and I think 2.5 ounces, which is crazy for me.
It's not like a replacement for the 8020. It's more of a companion to the 8020, or depending on if you live in a locale where you maybe can only have 3 inches.
Yeah, it is not for sure going to replace the full size, because you have this full grip handle that has, it fills your hand up all the way. Now this thing though, to me, it's a super huge challenge to make a 3-inch blade with a interesting, and I don't mean interesting like, oh wow, that looks cool, but a handle that actually works very well. You have a great, great grip on it, and it performs like a full-size handle, but it's the shortness of it. And you got to get your pinky on there. And one thing you got to do is you got to make sure there's this pinky. A lot of times you'll grab a 3-inch knife and your pinky's like sticking up in the air. It's just something weird.
Yeah, they're 3 3/4 finger handles.
Yeah. So this, to me, is probably the most masterful part of the design, is that the handle is really, really awesome for being short, thin, and small. But you know what? This thing flies open. It has, we had to make custom-made bearings for these, 1 millimeter cage bearings, and it emulates all the cool things about the original 20, where we had the CNC logo in the pivot pin and in the back.
Yeah, I saw you emulated that in the Grivery.
Yeah, then that's put into the tooling of the Grivery, so it has
really cool.
It's mirrors all its cool features, but that pin cost that's over $5 just to do that, just to engrave that CNC engrave that. So it's nothing when you just put it in your tooling here though. So again, it's all keep the look, make it follow the line, but keep that price down to an entry level knife, I call it.
So Scott says, Mr. Demko. What it's just Mr. It's not, he's not doctor yet. What materials do you look forward to using for your knives? Which is the toughest to work with, related to what you're just talking about with the machines and what eats bits and what doesn't?
It's when we do the carbon fiber handles, when we do our standard checkering on it, though John, my brother's really picky, you can only cut one set, which is left handle, right handle, with one carbide ball and mill, and then the second time it'll flake them off and stuff. So you only get one cut out of one of those bits for this particular pattern. So that's pretty punishing, because those bits are, I think they're at least $30 each, the ones we buy.
Wow. Your local
But
Home Depot must love you guys.
I wish a local hardware store sold those things. Yeah, they're all ordered from those tooling houses, and they're, solid carbide end mills they add up. They very much add up. You know what? I just got some Magna Cut, and so
I
far
was
that's
going to ask,
been
that was my next question. What about Magnica?
well. I've been cutting M4. I'm working on a batch of M4, and I've been service grinding M4, and it's been going okay. Magna Cut should be similar to that, but it's all basically the same, And I'll be honest with you, 35VN, 45VN, we don't see any difference when we're working with LMAX. I had horrible problems with making my last batch of LMAX. It's not even out yet, but it's processed. But I think that was just a condition that the steel came in that was every time I ground it, it warped, it flipped the plates, it warped, it flip. I got my latest stuff from Niagara, and it was just like smooth. Yeah, it was. I lost money on my LMAX grinding operations for sure.
I got the 3V on mine just to be different.
I will say that when you're hand grinding big blades, like camp knives and stuff, 3V is particularly punishing, considering its edge resistance. I mean, you would think that because it's not like it's 20 CV or you know what I mean, or 4E or anything, but it's still pretty punishing 3V.
Yeah. A question, super chat, $20. Thank you very much, Jace. I appreciate that. Just wanted to thank Mr. Demko for branching out into Taiwan production in smaller sizes. I've loved Demko knives, but price and size not so much. One more question: can you swap scales on the 20.5? I guess the more appropriate question is: are you going to make scales that you could swap onto the 20.5?
We intend to make various handle colors on future runs. And with that, we can go ahead and order. We intend to go ahead and order extra scales to offer. So cool. Yes, but everybody dyes their scales now, and they look pretty cool. So that's always an option.
Yeah, I think you went right with the plain old gray. But I'm very boring, so that's everybody used to call like everything gray Brian spec. I think one knife manufacturer, it actually is listed in their catalog as Brian spec for that particular knife. But I branched out now. I do have a lot of other colors now. So Joe Ziegler, I'm going to answer this one for you. Can this live stream be like a TV talk show? Everyone in the audience gets a free one or the option to buy them first? No. No, I'm going to take him off the spot and say no. But I'm getting two of them, and one of them is going to be one of my 25,000 sub giveaways. So thank you very much, Andrew, for that. So that will be. So you will have a chance to win. I'm going to keep one, obviously, but you guys can get the other one because there are two blade shapes. There's the shark's foot and then a regular like drop point.
Clip point.
Clip point. Yeah. So one like this, and then the shark's foot.
Yes.
Another good question from William Schmidt. Are you going to have a black wash or maybe even a PVD coated 20.5?
We have had a request for a dealer exclusive with DLC, but it could also be PVD. The PVD in Taiwan is pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. There's another person trying to bribe you, I think. I'm pretty excited. My buddy's going to grab one for me at Blade. You're going to allow him to get me one or two?
That is the ongoing debate in our shop right now. People are already asking how many can you buy, and other people are warning you better not let people buy too many.
Yeah.
We're not sure how we're going to handle that. What we don't want to do is we don't want people to miss out on being able to purchase one because somebody else is trying to use it as a flipping knives. I mean, I'm all for buying and selling whatever you want. It's yours. You buy it and sell it. But I really want, when people really want one and they missed out because someone bought tries to buy a bunch and flip them. It's kind of like,
What is
people get mad at
what is
me.
your Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, I've asked a couple other makers this too, and not just in knives, but in other stuff that I've been reviewing. What is your feeling as a maker when you see um, one of your knives go for 2, 3 times what it costs originally on the secondary? Like, does that make you mad? Does it make you proud? Like, what kind of feeling does that give you?
Um, I don't. It doesn't make me mad. I mean, I'm actually proud that someone thinks so highly of my product that they'll pay much more uh, than you know. If you buy something and you make money on it when you sell it, it's pretty amazing that you can buy anything for retail and make money. What else can you can't buy your car and make money selling it usually. There's not many things
Yeah,
you can do that, but with knives. And so it's really cool, but at the same time, guys are mad because I can't supply them the knife for retail, and their only option is to pay the pay the flipper price.
that's what I'm like. That's what I think I'd feel like, to be proud that people are willing to pay it, but mad that in a way it kind of comes back on you.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
I get
or
emails all the time. I can't get one of your knives, and I'm not. It's unfair to your fans that that they're 3 times as much on eBay, and I understand that. But so yeah, I need to make the whole solution is to make more knives, but keep the quality exactly where it's at or improve.
yeah. I'm going to ask you one last question from a viewer here, and then we'll wrap it up. I don't want to
Okay.
keep you too late. But Quack Fam says, any advice for aspiring knife makers?
Yes, just all you gotta do is make some knives. I mean, it just you get out in your shop or your garage or whatever, and you start real small. And I think with social media, I've seen guys go super fast, hot or in demand or whatever. And if you really like it, if you really want to do it, there's no reason why anybody can't do it. I think I don't know if I told you this, but um, when I was like 14, I asked my mom for a battery drill, or not a battery drill, but a regular drill for Christmas because I was trying to drill this sword out of a sheet of steel and I was drilling holes and chiseling it out. When I was 16, I got a drill press for Christmas or my birthday. I think it was my birthday. I don't remember. One or the other. I still have that drill press. I don't use it. It's in the shed. But, started off with that. And then eventually I got a belt grinder. Well, some Sears grinders killed those quickly and build up. Now I have milling machines, wire EDM, uh, lasers, all kinds of stuff now. But just like anything else, if you love it and you want to do it, there's no reason why you cannot.
Okay, I lied to you. One more question. Somebody asked this earlier,
Okay.
and I apologize. I didn't catch their name. A kind of on the spot question. Who's your favorite knife maker? And you can say yourself if you want to.
I honestly I don't have a favorite knife maker. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really told you. I really like tomahawks more than knives. I usually don't buy knives much.
I
I do
think I think you
sometimes.
did mention. I knew it was
Yeah, I
some
buy.
kind of other weapon implement than knives, but
Yeah,
I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah.
I have a ridiculous amount of tomahawks and axes and things like that. But um, I still do buy. I buy production knives because I like them. I don't really buy too many custom knives or anything. But sometimes I trade
Yeah,
with guys that I know.
I know we have had talks about that, about the that you're not really into the customs, and your knives, while they are custom, they don't, and I mean this in a very nice way. They don't feel like customs. They don't feel like some delicate thing that I should put away in a safe. I've never picked up
Uh,
a custom
right.
Demko and thought I shouldn't carry this, and that's what, like, I don't like Mokutai. I think it's hideous. I don't like all that stuff, and that's why I think I was drawn to your knives, and why I bought this MG was just because it's just it looks. I don't think twice about using this for anything.
Well, that's exactly what I like to hear. Some people do though. They want to. Like sometimes I'll get somebody will complain about the edge, the sharpened edge, the cantle on it, and I'm like, well, what the hell's what's wrong? It's a consumable. You're just gonna use it up, sharpen it, and it'll be sharpen it how you want it, and use it up and sharpen it. But not everybody likes, some people think they're safe queens, but to me, they're designed to be used for sure.
Yeah, and this is just kind of a little product design question or a suggestion for you. Demko 8050 Tomahawk.
You know what? I made quite a few tomahawks. Never became a hit for me, and but I enjoyed making them, and I still have quite a few. I told my brother, he wasn't into, he wants me to, he keeps me focused on what we need to make, and I'm like, I'm making tomahawks. And I said, I don't care if I end up with 12 of these left. I don't care. I like them. So yeah, I have a bunch of S7 tomahawks.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, and
Very good.
looking forward
Very
to
good to be here.
coming down and seeing you after Blade Show. You're not that far. We can go throw some tomahawks.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I've never done that, so yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Be taught by the best. So thanks again so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you for putting me on this, and it was good to talk to people. That's very cool. So I'll see everybody at Blade.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So there you have it. That was Andrew Demko. That went pretty smooth, I have to say. I was happy with that. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed that. But yeah, Andrew's the nicest guy on the planet. So I knew he wouldn't be offended by any odd questions or anything. So yeah, very cool guy. And I do look forward to heading down to Pittsburgh area and throwing tomahawks with him in July or August. That's going to happen. Thank you, that fellow there. I appreciate that. I do my best. I do this other for comedy stuff too. So I have a little practice. Meadow Complex late as usual. Well, you can watch it afterwards, or I am going to cut out just the audio with him and make it a podcast. So, Knife, did he say how many they're making the first round? He did not. I do know it's a significant number, but there will be a lot more later. I'm not going to say numbers, but it's probably not going to be quite enough in the first run, but quite a few, and then there'll be a bigger run later. So. Any idea what the 2025 is going to cost? He said they're aiming between $130 to $150. They won't know till it actually hits the U.S. because you don't know about tariffs and customs fees and all that. But between 130 and 150, he said. MC, yes, he's the reason we can't have nice things. But yeah, I really appreciate him coming on. That's cool. He's actually I had him on the. If you want more talk with him too, you can go and watch the. We did a chats from the couch. It was not chats from the truck. It was chats from the couch, and it was before the Cold Steel buyout. That there's an episode in here about that if you want to hear more about him talk about something. He gets a bit more into production-y kind of stuff in that, if I remember correctly. I talked to him so much I'm not really sure. Hopefully it doesn't become the new mail, but it would be possible to get. I really don't think so. It's being made in Taiwan. I think that the first run's going to disappear like a fart in the wind. And then a couple, 3 months, there'll be a lot more out there. And give it 6-8 months, and you'll be able to get them pretty regularly. So if I'm just guessing, they're made overseas. They're not made in a, they're not handmade in the U.S. like the Malibus are. Is he still sharpening for TM? I never heard that he was, so I don't know. MJ, what's a Malibu? It's a Protec that nobody can get. I actually talked to Andrew more than I talked to him, but yeah, I like their stuff. So whenever I hear any whisperings of anything new, I give them a call. But when I do talk to Andrew, they're long conversations, and I never can recall what was said on camera and what wasn't. Mike K, shark's foot shape is so awesome. It is. It's very cool. And I love they named it that. It's really cool. Yes, Deacon. The MG will be U.S. produced. Yeah, so he's gonna do. He said he's gonna do a run of the higher end version of that as well, which that'll be really really cool. What's Austin A comparable to? He said it was like a 440. I can't remember the higher end 440. Was it C? He said I think, but from that factory, the heat treat is awesome. I mean, I have several cold steels, and he did say that they're made in one of the cold steel factories. So, um, one of the same factories that cold steel uses. They're not cold steel's factories, but you know what I mean. And they do such an amazing heat treat. I love the Austin A. I've got it on a couple of cold steels. I think it works great. Holds up really well. Sharpens okay. It's very tough. It's not chippy at all. Really, really like it. I've got it on the Formax and the Airlight. So between those two, you're getting a very wide range of uses. So do we want to keep talking about Demkos, or do you want me to um, rant and make everybody mad? Now that I've built up all this goodwill by having the nicest man on the planet on, should I rant about something and make everyone mad? Any guess in the HRC? He said 59 to 60. He did say that on the show. Uh, well, Demko MC said 440C, but I agree with you. It performs more like 154 CM, but that's not what he said. So you voted rage. All right. So the Bowie Geddon happened this week. Knife Joy was, I don't know if they had naked pictures of Sal Glesser or whatever, but they convinced Spyderco to make more of this Swish buoy. Right? They convinced them to make more. This thing was never coming back. Spyderco was adamant it was never coming back. Knife Joy spent some money, and a lot of money, because you have to pre-buy these things, and bought a bunch of them. Brought the Swish buoy back. Uh, thank you very much for the donation, D2. And I'm glad you're loving the Ortis. But they dared to make some changes to it. So 20 CV blade, which we'll go back to, and blue handles. Now I will say mine is not the stock stonewash. I re-stonewashed this one when I got it. It was used. It was a gift from a lovely viewer, but it was really scratched up. So I redid it. But Knife Joy does this. It's $400. Old one at the time it went out of production was 300, but previously had been 350. Actually, someone said, I think it was guys on Knife Nuts podcast, said it's the knife that made them do map pricing. So, and that's very reflective. You can see my Ferrari flag up above my head. But so it was between 350 and 300 the period of its life. It went out of production. M390, not 20CV. You're correct. Thank you for the correction. 138. Anyway, same difference. Potato. But yeah, went out of production 4 years ago. It was 300 back then. Inflation exists. M390 is probably a little bit more than XHP. I'm not saying I like it more, but I'm saying cost-wise probably a little bit more. It's anode, blah, blah, blah. I thought the price was fine. Everyone lost their tiny little minds about it. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, just everybody criticizing Spyderco for making it a dealer exclusive. I got lots of comments like that. That's not how dealer exclusives work, guys. A dealer bought them. Spyderco doesn't design a knife and say, which dealer would like to have this as an exclusive? A dealer goes to them and says, I would like to buy 500 or 1,000 of this knife. in this configuration. Can I please do that? That's that's how it works. So Spyderco didn't make it a dealer exclusive. Knifejoy brought back something that was never coming back, is what happened. So that's what happened there. So don't be mad at Spyderco because it's a dealer exclusive and you can't get it in Europe or whatever. Knifejoy made it happen. They can sell it however they want to. And of course, they're not going to have other dealers sell it. That would be stupid. And yeah, the 400 was a bit high. The other thing people freaked out about, the blade finish isn't the same. Yeah, it's not the same freaking steel. It wouldn't look good. It wouldn't look the same. And I do know that ProTech, when they did a very shiny finish on 20 CD, which is basically the same as M390, it was really, really, really hard to do. They quit doing it. So, I mean, I guess I don't understand the huge rage about it. And then of course now they're yeah, like Keith just dropped $4,000 on eBay, but someone does have one listed for $4,000 on eBay. I think it's a joke, but there's a lot that are listed for $1,000 and they totally mean it. So yeah, I just didn't understand the huge fury over it. It was just everyone was so mad. And then I had to make a funny meme about it and post it on Instagram, and some people got mad at me. But it was I don't get it, guys. It like 3 months ago, there were so many Spyderco fans saying, I would do anything to be able to buy a new Swish buoy. That's all I want in my life is a new Swish buoy. And then what? $100 more? Slightly different finish. Get out of my house. Like I just didn't understand the whole I didn't get it at all. I thought it was so dumb. I thought it was I 90% love the internet knife community, the knife community period. This week with the Spider Coast, with the Swish Buoy stuff, that was everything I hate about the internet knife community, all wrapped up in 2 days. Um, but counted 45 new buoy scalpers on eBay this morning. Yep, because everybody's getting them now. Bennett, I would do anything in the Meatloaf voice. I would do anything for a Swish, but I won't do that. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna sing that. And yes, Snap Sergeant, correct. All of Knife Joy's exclusives recently have been blue. It's their jam. Just like all of who is it? Is it Knife Depot that does everything in orange? Everybody has their colors. Uh, Blade HQ does everything in Jade G10. It's just that's just everybody has their colors. Thank you very much, Freedom Van, for the donation. My 1-month-old ZTO 562 CF has got me realizing that I'm actually like bigger knives than a QC Waypoint. Other recommendations in that price size. We got an 0562. I would check out the full size Adamas Benchmade. I'm really liking that a lot. That may be quite a bit bigger though. Huh. I mean, it's not the same price, but obviously I'm going to say if you love the 0562, the next step is a quote unquote real hinderer. But Shaman, that's a good shout. Dave F says. Shout 700 for buoy and eBay. You kidding me? That's a good deal. It's not. Don't go buy it. But I'm just saying. 8010. That's a good shout as well. SBD Knife Nuts podcast Mini Tempest and M398. Any thoughts? I mean, it's going to be great. I don't know anything about M398. I've heard the words said. I haven't looked into it to see exactly what the difference is. Yeah, Horizon. That's good. Mordax is a good one. Yeah, you're getting lots of good suggestions there. The hive mind is working. We're not going to stay on too much longer tonight, but I'm almost going to wrap up. So, yeah, I'm just glad that interview went well. I'm just so relieved. Never know how stuff's gonna go. That's part of the reason why I had Andrew on here first, because he's a nice guy. I knew he would be understanding if I had issues. So, and yes, yeah, Sergeant, it's 8 better. M398 is 8 better. It has 8 mores in it. Shaman has been scarce lately. I need one. Sean says, yeah, a lot of Spydercos are scarce, and I do think it's because they're transitioning over to S45 VN, because I know a couple people have just ordered pair of 3s and PM2s, and they've shown up S45. So one of you's on here. I think one of you guys got a pair of 3 and S45, didn't you? Professor EDC says, I love this Slish Buoy, but I think the best Spyderco of all time is Nirvana. I'm not a huge Nirvana fan. Not correct. I'm not a Nirvana fan. I don't like it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the band. The band is amazing. Don't care much for the don't care much for the Nirvana. Just never blew my skirt up. Interview went great. You're a great moderator. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Bennett Wilcox, anyway, you seem to prefer the Sage 5 over the Pair of 3. Sage 5 fits my hands a little bit better, but they're both very comfortable to carry, and I think the Pair of 3 is hideous. Hideous. And the pocket clip location is just criminal. I mean, mine's fixed. I have a deep carry clip, but the black G10 one, that's what I'm saying, is the base ones are showing up S45 yen. If I'm understanding correctly. Kevin, yours is just a black G10 standard one, right? Cutlery Shop does orange. You're right. Nick's does red. Yep. I can never keep everybody's stuff straight. Yeah, black G10. So the standard ones are showing up S45. So that's cool. I'll get one of them to try out. Will there be deep carry clips for AD 20.5? I don't know. I don't know if they'll make them, but I'm almost guaranteeing that you'll see like MXG Gear or somebody pump them out, because that's going to be a popular enough knife that I think you'll see them doing that. The clip on it it's like this though. It is one-sided, so you can carry it either way, but you have to use a different clip. And I don't know if they ever did make them for the AD20, but it is designed so that you can left-hand carry it, but you need a different clip, which I kind of like it when companies do that. I know some people complain, but I kind of like it. I think it's a cool way to do it. Just got your Amazon 8015. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it comes out that they're sending them out the back door to somebody on Amazon, or it's actually Cold Steel selling them. I will be very disappointed. Just screw their dealers like that when you just released the 8015 Lite. But I don't think so. I got to believe it's just somebody that has the. I think it's just got to be somebody that has a bunch of them. Jason Bergeson says they confirmed they'll have a separate left-hand clip. Cool. See you later, Jexter. The Aston's got some new glasses yesterday. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys had a really good time tonight. Had my earbuds in because I was doing an interview thing, and they're really starting to bother me. So I want to get them out. But I hope you guys had a good time. I know I did. And yeah, we'll have more guests on in the future. I will announce them as I have them. I'm efforting a few. I have one for sure lined up, and I'm efforting a few more. So I will let you guys know. So have a good one. And thank you very much again. And thanks for all your super chats. You guys are very generous tonight. And see you next week.